Hey everybody, and welcome to The Cast with Jake. Today's episode I have Jordan Roos. I messed up his name when I was speaking to him, but I got it right this time. Jordan is the Viking at 97X, Owensboro's best rock. We talk about what it's like to be a radio host and what he's currently listening to. We also talk about how things work within the radio industry. On top of all of that, this will be the season finale of The Cast with Jake Season 1. Basically, I want to handle things a bit differently going forward. I will be releasing a video probably next week about what my plans are with the channel. So be sure to check that out. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the podcast with Jordan. Set here, volume levels are good. All right. Hey everybody, and welcome to The Cast with Jake. Today with me I got Jordan Rue. Jordan, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's Roos, homie.
I'm so stupid.
Roos! Oh, you're killing me here.
Dude,
you're killing me, Smalls.
We're off.
No, dude. And here's the worst part. So my whole family is in your neck of the woods because you're Southern Indiana, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so my whole family's in Spencer County. Spencer County and all going up into Jasper and all that. Yeah. It's Roos. So Roos, it's all German. My whole dad's side is from Spencer County, Dale, Indiana area.
Yeah.
And that whole area is nothing but German. Like, that is a straight German descendant. So I thought you had that last day. I thought you would get it. I thought you of all people in Southern Indiana would know how to pronounce it.
Nope, not me. I'm from Warwick County. We're doing our own thing over here.
Yeah, true. Very true. So how you been doing, man?
Dude, I've been doing good. How you been?
Kicking ass, working my ass off, and playing rock for the masses.
Yeah, dude. So tell me about 97X. What do you do over there?
Nothing. I sit on my fat ass and play music. No, I wish it was just that. I wish it was just as easy as that. But no, I've been at 97X now. It'll be 7 years next month.
Oh, wow.
Damn, 7 years next month. I've been at 97X. I've actually had the show on air for 5 years. And I wear plenty of different hats around there. I started part-time, so started doing all the grunt work when I was first there. And I still do some grunt work that I've started from day one.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm promotions director there. I'm program director. I take care of some other stations. We have a total of 8 stations there now at Cromwell Media Group, and take care of a few of those other stations. And just all around keep a radio station up and running.
Hell yeah! Alrighty, so what's your favorite kind of music? When you're just driving down the road, what are you picking?
Currently, or are you just talking like all time? Like if I'm just like, if I go out of my car currently, what would I turn it to?
Yeah, what'd you turn to right now?
Dinosaur Polyp has been really big for me right now. I'm huge into Dinosaur Polyp. Love Dinosaur Polyp. I love that band so much. God, who else do I listen to? I listen to a lot of pop punk rock, like pop punk. Yeah. So like Neck Deep. I love anything Neck Deep does.
Oh, really? That's good.
Oh, I love Neck Deep. A Day to Remember is always going to be one of my all-time favorite bands. It's their autograph up there.
Oh, dude, it's hard to beat A Day to Remember. They're just one of those bands that's going to be like how Slipknot's looked at now, but they're damn near already there.
We could argue that, and I'm an A Day to Remember fan, but we could argue that because that's an awful big comparison between A Day to Remember and Slipknot. I can see it. But Slipknot's the modern day Metallica, but that's a whole different conversation. I mean, if you want to go down that route, by God, we can go down that route.
Well, we ain't doing anything else. Let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, so the whole reason I'm saying this, my basis behind that argument, Slipknot has made such a huge name for themselves, and they were so unique when they came out. And A Day to Remember, they were unique for the time being. They mixed the pop punk and the metalcore elements into their music.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was already. I don't think they made as big as a pop as Slipknot did when they first started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, but I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's
plus, And on top of that, here's the thing about comparing bands legacy wise. When I always say that's the only reason I bring this up, is because Slipknot has had the hits. Slipknot has had number one hits like your Psychosocials and your Wait and Bleeds, and God, fucking their last album just skyrocketed number one, but that's because they're fucking Slipknot nowadays.
Right.
But A Day to Remember hasn't been a radio band, really, and that's kind of what you gotta. I mean, I'm not saying that from the position I'm in, just
yeah.
But from everything I have seen is you got to have some kind of radio play. And if radio's not backing you, it's really, really fucking hard to really compare your legacies to that of like your Slipknots and Metallicas.
Right. And yeah, I guess that's pretty true because you are right that, you know, pretty much the All Hope Is Gone album was pretty much their, you know, breakout, hey, everything can be played on the radio here and type deal. But
with A Day to Remember, they have such a dedicated following that still supports them, even though they haven't had a mainstream push.
Right.
They haven't had the airplay or anything like that. It's all been grassroots. And that's I love A Day to Remember so much. God damn, I've seen that band 11 times live, and every single time they get better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Legacy wise, A Day to Remember 10 years from now, you really think they're going to be as big as Slipknot, selling out the arenas, having number one albums like that on the?
That's a good question. You say that, and did they release something recently? I know they released a couple singles, but did they release an album?
No, they announced the album title. You're Welcome is going to be the title of the album. They have 3 singles right now off of it, but no, they haven't released a release date or anything.
Well, I will judge the legacy on how well this album does.
I like the 3 songs so far.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, they went Marshmello with that. That was a weird route to go down to, and as a fan, I was like, because I'm not even electronic music. I get it.
Yeah,
it's just not my cup of tea. So I was a little hesitant on that one, and then they released Resentment, and that was real cool. Resentment, actually 4 singles they got out because they got Rescue Me, Degenerates, Resentment, Mind Reader. So they have 4 out.
Yeah,
Dang,
they
it's
do.
Weird. Yeah.
It's just
I'm such a nerd.
It's okay. I love this shit, doing the just knowing everything. I like the people like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Dude,
I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that going into me being there, I just love music. I mean, I can't play a lick of instruments or anything, but even as a kid, I was diehard into music. I loved learning about the bands and how songs were structured and everything. And I just grew up and I got lucky. I am honest to God lucky as hell to have the position I'm in now.
Yeah. So with the radio, going back to that, the radio, do you get to pick what's played, or how does that work necessarily?
So the way 97X runs, every radio station is really different, but the way 97X is we have, I hate when I get random messages. I keep my phones keep buzzing the whole damn time. But anyway, so Westwood One sends us our playlist. All of our music we get is syndicated through Westwood One. Mm-hmm. So Westwood One is the one that delivers the playlist to us. Westwood One is the one that pays all the royalties to the bands. We are contracted out to Westwood One. Westwood One sends us the whole music library for the whole day, and it's everything you can imagine, basic rock stuff, your Red Hot Chili Peppers, Stone Temple Pilots, Metallicas, and all the modern day top 20 Billboard mainstream rock chart songs.
Right.
And during my I don't mess with anything outside of that music. That music is already set. They have made it the whole day, but when it comes to my show, I do have the ability to switch stuff around, especially if I have sponsors attached to it. With sponsors attached to it, that gives me the ability to play local bands like yours, like any others that are around here. If there's a band on the rise, like one of the main things I've been doing during this whole pandemic is I've been reaching out to all these management labels and asking them, like, hey, do you have any smaller acts that were really negatively hit by this pandemic? Send them over to my show. I'll do a free interview for them. I'll play their big single that you're wanting to push right now. I'll make an article for them. And I'm like, it's the least I can do. Yeah. Like, the bands can't go out and go tours. I was like, the least I can do is share my voice or share your voice on my stick.
Yeah, and I mean that's definitely appreciated. I'm sure somebody really, really enjoyed that. Somebody's out there doing something because it just kind of seems like a lot of bands who make their living from, touring, which is a good majority of like, who I would consider like up and coming bands and like the bands who
All
play.
bands,
Yeah, like,
all
but
bands, even the big ones, your Ultra Bridges and ShineDowns of the world, make the biggest bang on tour
that's true.
all the time.
Yeah.
All because you ain't making no money on CDs anymore these days.
Yeah, everything's streamed,
Streaming,
and plus, like,
yeah,
Shinedown can sell out a whole stadium. There's no question about that. Like,
yeah, absolutely they could,
and sell merch.
so could Ultra Bridge,
Yep.
and so can Ultra Bridge, and so could Five Finger Death Punch, and all these other bands. But the bulk of their money, the bulk of their income comes from touring.
Yep. Yeah. But I would like the bands I'm talking about is like they're kind of scene bands. The ones that are like the best one I can give is like Cane Hill. Like, they're not huge, but they have a few like breakout songs that have like hit the mainstream, and they played at like Rock on the Range and like, just the smaller bands who play earlier at the festivals like that. I mean, those guys are really hurting now because, they didn't. I think that there's like a time I think about after 2010, and that's up in the air, but like, CD sales went down a lot, and now, streaming goofs most people when it comes to money. So, they make their money by this, and that sucks. But
it does. That's why I honestly have never downloaded Spotify. I refuse to download Spotify. I don't want to download Spotify because if I like a band, I'm going to listen. First, I'll listen to it on YouTube. I'm just that dude that's almost 30 and still goes straight to YouTube and refuses to download a streaming app. I also, because I'm super cheap in my life.
That's
but
okay.
if there's a song that I like, I will go buy the whole band's album.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the album could be absolute dog shit, but at least I bought money on the album through that band's website where the band's getting the money for it.
Yep. And there's something about having something physical too with it, like attached, like artwork with stuff is always nice. Cause I do have Spotify. I start on YouTube and like, I go to Spotify, I create my playlist and, I'll throw it on as background music. But like, if there's a band I really like any band that I really, really enjoy, I do the same thing. I just got to go to their website, or I try and get them at shows more than, buy them online. I'm not a big online buyer for whatever reason.
Me either. I'm just super cheap, man. I am so cheap. And plus, I get a lot of these CDs for free. But yeah, I have an extension CD. I'm looking at it already. It's a total mess, or else I'd show you. But yeah, I have a lot of CDs.
Hell yeah!
Dating all the way back to I think I have some CDs from when I was a kid. I do. My first album I ever bought was Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park. I still got that.
Oh yeah. How old were you when you got that?
Yeah. Oh shit! It came out 2001? It came out.
It's Hybrid Theory was like 99. I think Meteoroya was 2000.
If it was 99, if it was 99, then I would have been 8 years old.
I may be right about that. So we're gonna say 8 to 9, 8 to 10.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's somewhere in there. Because I remember buying that, I was obsessed with it. Because see, my whole childhood. My mom and dad are very religious people, religious conservative father and mother.
Yep.
Dad Catholic, mom Southern Baptist. And so I was raised on gospel. Gospel music is what I listen to. And my dad had his entire CD and cassette collection in this like glass cabinet that he kept locked up all the time.
Yeah.
He didn't want me getting into it. He didn't want me looking at it. He didn't want me touching it because he was just that OCD, which I inherited that trait, but he wouldn't let me fuck with it. So one day he finally left that son of a bitch unlocked, and oh my god, first album I got in there and got was AC/DC Back in Black. That was the first one I pulled. And listened to, and then I just went down the list from there. Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell was in there. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. Yeah. Foreigner's Greatest Hits. John Mellencamp. John Mellencamp was my first big secular concert that I went and saw. 2001 Roberts Stadium.
Oh hell yeah!
And yeah, that was cool. And but yeah, so I was raised in this Southern household, so I really listened to gospel, and then I found my dad's CD collection. Started falling in love with that. Really got into a lot of Christian, more of the Christian mainstream rock, like your Audio Adrenalines and Reliant K. God, who else? Yeah, Delirious and all Skillet. That's when I started loving Skillet. Yeah, and God, I saw Skillet in like 2005 when they had one album out in Litchfield, Kentucky.
That's crazy.
Like,
I have not been fortunate enough to see a band that was really small and then get really big, but that's because I
dude,
joined the music
cool
scene.
It is so cool to watch. Okay, the coolest story about that. I got two cool stories about that. First one is Asking Alexandria.
Yeah.
So their first American tour, they played at Evansville and Boney June's.
Yeah.
And yeah, they played Evansville, Boney June's, and I went over there and watched them, and I honestly did not like them. I didn't like their first album. Everybody was obsessed with their first album. I really didn't care for it. They were at Boney June's. One of my friends drugged me to it. I was like, yeah, sure. So, I mean, they were decent. I was like, because I just thought they were going to be another hardcore band to come and go, but
yeah,
no, they're still sticking around, and they're still kicking ass and playing stadiums now.
They sure are.
Other cool one that I remember. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they were just. Who are they on tour with? Five Finger Death Punch, I think they opened for.
No shit. Because Tyler was telling me about their new album, because I've never really been a big fan of them, just like their earlier stuff, their new stuff. That's never been up my alley. But Tyler sent me their new album, and he's like, here, check this out. I didn't expect this. And, it's kind of like, it's more rocky. It's more stadium rock. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. They have a big hit right now on air, Anti-Socialists, which I really dig. Yeah, they're real cool dudes. I got to meet Danny one time. He's a really nice guy. Yeah. But so the other band that I saw play small music, Motionless in White, played at the Brothers Pizza here in Owensboro.
No shit.
Way back in, like they were all teenagers, like fresh out of high school, where like they didn't have the whole gothic look to them. It was just normal looking scene kids. And now they're huge as hell with a number 10 hit song right now on air.
Dude, those guys are gigantic now.
Yeah.
Hell, they may end up grabbing that Slipknot title. I mean, they've gotten better with every album. Like every single album, I think anyway, is better than the last one.
Motionless in White has definitely been a band I loved watching grow. And he's on this new stuff they released. It's kind of Marilyn Manson-esque. They kind of open up a little bit more and go, his singing voice just reminds me of Manson. It's that kind of growly sounding that he does when he sings. And I'm like, it reminds me of Manson every time he does that. Yeah,
they went super, they had like modern riffs with like a 90s feel to it is like the best way I can describe it. I get a lot of, I mean, there was, whatever's the second song on the record, I can't remember, but it gave me super crazy Linkin Park vibes. And then like the one before that had like a Korn one, or maybe it was the Korn one was the second one and then the third one. I don't know. The Code one was the Linkin Park one, whichever one.
Is Brand New Numb off their brand new album?
Yes.
Okay. I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, the song titles. I suck with remembering song titles.
I know Disguise, but other than that, I don't know the names. There's like one that's like Code, and then, yeah. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm horrible. Unless I see it on the computer screen every single day during the show, I cannot remember not band names, but song titles. Excuse me, beer.
So, what's one of the best bands you've ever seen live?
AC/DC.
Really?
It's always my answer. AC/DC is the greatest live band I've ever seen. Period.
Why is that? And when did you see them?
I saw them February 2016, because it was right before Brian Johnson left the band because he's going deaf.
Oh, yeah.
I think he left in March. I saw him in February in St. Louis, and it was just incredible to see. Like, it was AC fucking DC.
Yeah.
And I grew up on Back in Black and listening to it as a kid, and Angus Young is just a god. Like, he's a god amongst men. Like, there's nobody. That dude is 65, 68 years old, and he did a 45-minute long guitar solo running around that entire huge-ass stage, like literally running the whole time. And I'm like, the fuck is he doing? He has better cardio and better running skills than I have in my entire life, and he's almost 70.
That's insane. I've always wanted to see them live, but I've just never had the. Which I actually started going to like shows in like 2014. Yeah, that's when I started getting into everything. And the first show I went to was Louder Than Life 2014. Saved up all my money.
That was a great one.
That was amazing. I was up front like the whole first day because I remember I had just found Steel Panther, and that's what made me buy the tickets because I was like,
yes,
this is the greatest shit I have ever heard. Because like I think it was just when they released the Amazing album, the one where they're doing the mock of the Jesus picture. Yes. No, maybe. No, I think that's their first. I think that one's Feel the Steel, and then their second album's the one where All You Can Eat. That one.
So I have this thing called an autograph book where I take it to all the music festivals I go to.
Yeah.
And that's my Michael Starr Steel Panther one.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was right after I got married. Yeah, and then Styx told me he loved me.
That's awesome. Styx is the best.
Yeah.
He's such a. I've seen them like 6 times. I love those guys.
Oh, Steel Panther's great. So the funny story about them. God, I've interviewed them twice. Twice I've interviewed them. Both times utterly hilarious. They won't get out of character for anything though. So that's the first thing that's funny to me is they will not break character. So there was like there's a dude up in Detroit, Michigan. His name's Steve Black. He runs WIRF. No, WRIF. It's Riff Radio up in Detroit. Big time dude. And he was wanting to talk to Satchel outside of character about his guitar skills because the dude can shred.
Yes.
Satchel is a hell of a guitarist.
Yeah.
And he wanted to have a legit conversation with the actual dude. I don't know what his real name is, but with actual Satchel and not the character. And he would refuse to do it. Would not do it. They will not break character, and it's hilarious to me.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. That's just so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it makes sense because if you're going to commit to something, like, like,
yeah,
they do
they're
it.
Full in. They are 100% in.
That's awesome.
Like even when I'm at Guar, they broke character bullshit with us.
Yeah. Guar would have to.
Guar's fucking hilarious. But Steel Panther, so I was in Chicago Open Air, I was seeing Steel Panther, and they brought up 50 women on stage and got every fucking one of them topless.
Yes.
Every one of them. Chicago Open Air at that damn stadium. I forgot what it was, a soccer stadium in Chicago. Yeah, got all 50 women naked.
That's hilarious. Dude, the one time I saw them, it was in Louisville, or one of the times I saw them, it was in Louisville at Mercury Ballroom. And
love that.
They had someone go. They had like a bunch of girls. They pull them on stage, and then they had the one girl that was willing to show her boobs was someone's mom, and she was like the kid was there, and it was just kind of weird, but it was funny at the same time.
They're so legit. You know, Michael Starr's in the Rockstar movie with you haven't. Oh fuck, what's his name? Mark Wahlberg.
No, I haven't seen
Mark Wahlberg's in it. Where you haven't seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh, homie, go watch Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. It's okay. Mark Wahlberg's character, it's kind of loosely based on Judas Priest, and you'll find out why when you watch the movie. But Wahlberg's character is a huge fan of this band, and he's in a cover band for these dudes, and this band, Steel Dragon, ends up bringing him into the band, and he's fronting the band, and he becomes this huge star with Steel Dragon. And Michael Starr actually makes an appearance in the movie.
That's awesome.
When they're doing auditions for it, Michael Starr is walking out as Mark Wahlberg's walking in, and Michael Starr shoulder bumps him as he goes into the studio. Yeah, I had no idea. I watched it back. I was like, that's fucking Steel Panther's Michael Starr.
I just love that band so much. I remember the first time I heard, I was just surfing the internet, and I was on YouTube, and then I saw Let's All Party Like It's the End of the World, and I was like, well, what's this about? And like, dude, they're like, we're the best metal band in the world. I'm like, are you? And then I watched a few videos, and I'm like, yeah, they are. Like,
they're great. Death to All But Metal is how I got introduced to them.
Oh, yeah. They're so good.
Love,
They're
but going back to 20,
songs.
oh yes, they do, and they're funny as shit.
Yep.
But 2014 Louder Than Life, that was my first time ever doing media. I didn't have a radio show yet or nothing. I just got hired on full time, like literally like a month or two beforehand, just got hired on full time. And they hand me media credentials, go to Louder Than Life. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So we get every media person gets a whole sheet of all the PR contacts for all the bands and their emails and everything. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go down this list and email all these bands and see if I can line up interviews. So I ended up getting, God, who all did I get the first year? Five Finger Death Punch I got, but that was a funny story because I don't know shit about Five Finger Death Punch. Nothing. I didn't know nothing about them. And I didn't get an email back saying that it was confirmed or anything. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there bullshitting on my phone that barely has any connection because it's a music festival.
Yo.
And manager comes over and he's like, hey, Jeremy Spencer, Five Finger Death Punch will be here in 5 minutes. And I'm like, all right. And I was like, I have nothing to ask him. I have nothing. My internet wouldn't connect. I can't look anything up. I had nothing. I have no idea. I don't know anything about Five Finger Death Punch music at this point in time in my life. Regretfully, I know a lot about them now. I'm not a fan of it, but something else.
I used to be. We'll go down that later.
Yeah. So Jeremy Spencer sits down, and I'm like, literally it was a 5-minute long interview because I didn't know what the fuck to talk about. All I remember asking was, so, Five Finger Death Punch is a lot of stuff for the military, right? That's all I remember asking.
Hey, that's so funny.
That is all I remember asking. And going back to the beginning of this interview, you know how I was telling you that I had a cool story or funny story about my recorder's not working?
Yeah.
So I emailed Data Remember. Data Remember was playing 2014's Louder Than Life.
Yep.
And I emailed management, never heard shit back. So that Steve Black guy I was telling you about earlier, he was there and he kind of like mentored me through my first year there, and we became friends from there. And I was telling Steve like how big of a fan I am of Data Remember. I love to talk to him. And he's like, oh, well, I got an interview with him. I know their manager really well. I'll talk to him. So I was like, oh shit, like this is probably going to happen. So he ends up talking to manager. Manager ends up telling me that I'm going to be talking to Jeremy McKinnon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm over here scrambling to write interview questions, and I'm a nervous fucking wreck. Totally, utterly nervous as hell, fangirling out like a 5-year-old at a One Direction concert. Like, I'm shitting fucking rainbows. I'm so happy.
I would be too.
He comes over, sits down, and I'm like shaking, and I totally forgot to turn the recorder on. Totally forgot. So we're doing this interview for we're like 8 minutes in, 10 minutes in, and I look down and I notice it's not going. So I know he's in the middle of a conversation, so I just slowly go over there and press play and just keep on going.
Well, that's what I just did.
Disappointed in myself.
It's okay. I started this video out like 3 minutes in. I had to swap out the battery for my GoPro that I used to record myself. So
that's funny.
This is the most mediocre podcast on the internet.
You obviously haven't listened to mine then. My podcast is interesting. I teamed up with a local restaurant here called Dee's Diner, and it's called Feasting with Friends.
Yes, I saw you post about that.
Yeah, and I take people who've been successful in Owensboro, who own nonprofits, who own businesses, who have been in bands, and I bring them on the show, and we talk about their successes, how they got to be where they are. And I've had all kinds of fucking cool people on there. I've had Julius Maddox, the world's strongest man.
Really?
Like,
that's cool.
Yeah, he bench pressed. He has the world record for 770 pounds bench press. Yeah.
Is he from Owensboro? Wow. How?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Owensboro High School. I've known Julius now. God, I've known of him since high school because he's always been a big dude.
Yeah.
But I didn't really get to be friends with him until a few years ago or so. But yeah, I've had Julius on. The Josephines band, love those dudes. Josephines is great. They're the best way to describe it is bluegrass rock.
Yeah.
Like, They're blue. They're very. Have you ever heard of them or listened to them?
Yeah, I saw them at the Blackstone Cherry show you put on.
Yes. I love that band so much. That's one of the bands where I became really good friends with them because of concerts and X Fest and shit like that. Love the Josephines. Nonprofits, Flamingos for Amber, local people like the general manager at River Park Center I've had on. And we literally, the whole point is that we sit down and just have breakfast and talk about their life and successes.
That's awesome, especially because it's just like which that's what I'm branching out to do on this, because I was just trying to bring musicians all in, but I think I just want to do more than that, like have a bunch of different people on who do a bunch of different things related to music. But yeah, I mean, that's really cool that you're bringing like small business nonprofits together. That's great.
Well, I don't have a large microphone, but I have a microphone, so. Yeah. While I have it, I'm not going to be the hoarder of it, and I'm going to share it with people who also need to use it.
Yeah.
So that's where I love helping out. I love helping out with nonprofits. I love watching new businesses start and grow and succeed and expand. I love helping businesses do that because I got a bug on my fucking phone. But like. I love doing I work for an radio is all about advertising. That's how we make our money. Mm-hmm. We have commercials on the radio because that's how I get paid. That's how I have a house is because of radio ads.
Right.
So we sell radio, we sell those commercials, we sell airtime. We literally sell air is what we do. But having those, I don't even know where I was going. That fly fucking threw me the fuck off. God damn it.
Helping small businesses. And making the radio.
Helping small business. Yeah, I'm legit. Yeah, I'm deep into that. I like Dee's Diner, for example. They've won Best Breakfast 4 years in Owensboro, and the main thing I've done to help them out is boost up their lunchtime sales.
Oh yeah,
because they're only open breakfast and lunch. They don't do dinner, and most people just know them for how great their breakfast is. So it's like, let's put that emphasis on their lunch. And their sales went up over there because the podcast, because the advertising with them. I love helping. I'm not just here to steal businesses' money and be like, oh, I got your money and now I'm just going to shit on you. Like, no, I want to help you succeed.
Yeah.
And I love helping businesses and watching them grow and help them achieve what their dreams are.
Yeah, dude, that's great. I love, and that's why I think I like you a lot, because you're a very nice guy. You do help out in any way you can. And from what I can tell, you're a very nice guy.
Oh, shucks. You stop that now.
No.
I'm just, it's me. I'm not putting on a bullshit front. I'm born and raised in Owensboro, and I want to help this town out, and I got a platform to do it.
Fucking sweet.
Yeah. Fucking sick.
So.
But yeah.
Let's go back here. Let's go back to Louder Than Life. Who else played that year? That was
Kid Rock, Judas Priest, Stone Temple Pilots with Chester Bennington.
Yes, that's right. It's all coming back now. Mastodon.
Who else was on there? Mastodon was on it.
I fell in love with them. I'd never heard of them.
Kyotos was on it. Motionless in White was on it.
Yes.
Memphis Mayfire was on it. Was Seether on?
I think Seether was. No, they were the next year.
No, Seether's 2015.
Yeah, because I remember that year I had Tyler with me, because I went by myself my first year and just kind of winged it. And then, because I bought my ticket like the day before, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going.
I've been to every damn year Louder in Life, and it is such a great time.
Yeah.
It's like me and my wife. It's like our second honeymoon, because we got married September 24th. And then our first honeymoon was Disney. And then as soon as we got done with Disney, we went to Louder in Life.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That's a good
So we always kind of celebrated it as our second honeymoon.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they had 2015. I went to 2015, and then I went to 2016, because I think 2015 is where I saw Avatar for the first time. Those guys were...
No, that was 2014. 2014 was Avatar, and the only reason I remember that is because they toured the lead singer around the media tent.
Uh-huh.
They like literally the agent was like touring him around like, anybody want to interview Avatar? Anybody at all? And nobody would interview him.
Oh,
nobody. No, and I remember that. I'm like, shit, nobody wanted to interview him, and now Avatar's massive as hell.
They are, which is weird because after I saw them, I was like, man, they're unique. They're kind of like, they got like some kind of carnival feel to all their music, but they're also heavy as shit. So
yeah. Well, he was back in media, like in full ensemble. Like he had the full makeup on, he had the whole ringmaster suit on, and he had platform boots on, so he was like 7.5 tall. And the girl was just praying. Anybody want to interview Avatar? Anybody at all? That was my first. It was my first one, so I was like, I don't know what to ask him. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what his band's about. Like, I wasn't experienced in interviewing yet. I wouldn't know what the hell to ask the dude.
Yeah, and I wonder how popular were they at the time then? If nobody wanted to interview them, I know they were an opener.
They were opener.
Well, that's probably why. Were they there from like what, Sweden?
Yes.
Them and
Crowbot also opened up 2014, and that's where I met those dudes. Love Crowbot.
Crowbot, I'm not too familiar with them.
Oh, homie, you need to go check out some Crowbot. It's he has some like it's some 80s power vocals kind of thing.
Okay.
But they're sick. Yeah, their big hit at the time right now is Low Life. Check it out later on. Crowbot Low Life.
Crowbot Low Life. I will check that out.
Yeah, it's such a great band. They're so damn good, and they have not gotten the recognition that they deserve. Such a great band.
Huh. Yeah, who else did I see that year? They were a breakout band. They're fucking they have the song Jenny, and This Is the Time.
Oh, Nothing More.
Nothing More. Yes, those guys. Yes. They are awesome. I love those guys. I can't believe their sound changed a bunch. I love their first album a whole bunch, but then they went to like more of a I guess mainstream appeal type deal. I don't know what to call like what their new album is.
Honestly, I think their second album was way more djenty feeling than their first was.
I maybe need to give it a second listen to, or maybe I just listened to the singles. That's probably what I did.
Go to War is definitely a big mainstream hit, but see, they wrote Go to War for the Planet of the Apes movie. So that's why they wrote mainstream Go to War up. And then Do You Really Want It came out. I think that was the second big single off the album.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I remember that one.
Yeah, and then Let 'Em Burn is, I think, the third single that was released, and Let 'Em Burn's damn good.
Yes.
That's a heavy hitter song.
Yes, I did listen to that one. That's the one I remember most. That one's good. That one was good.
That
I
one's
do need
solid.
to listen to the whole album though, if it's more djenty. But a bunch of bands are acquiring gent like what's that? What's the Starset? Starset's new shit. What the fuck?
Yes.
What a jump.
And I'm living for it. I love Starset's new album so much. Manifest is killer. They have a single out called Trials right now, which is so good. But yeah, Manifest is the song that sold me on that album.
Yeah, Manifest is awesome. How's the new song? I haven't heard anything besides Manifest.
Trials is more. It has the gent kind of it's not much guitar riff. They have a few of it in there, but it's more mainstream leaning for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to definitely check that out because I have no idea about that. Huh.
Oh, I love Starset Live. Funny story about Starset. So they opened up for who played that show? Was it Five Finger Death? It was Five Finger Death Punch and Shinedown. They opened for Five Finger Death Punch and Shinedown because Bad Wolves was first.
Ooh, Bad Wolves was good too.
Yeah, they're fucking badass. Tommy Vex is all right guy. He's not the nicest rock star I've met. That's a different. That's a different.
I want to go down that because I really like Tommy Vext, and I want to know as you interviewed him. I'm pausing you. What do you think?
I didn't interview him. It was just a real quick kind of thing, and it was at Ford Center. That show actually is when I met him, and it was a real quick kind of thing. And I just wanted him to cut a liner for my show, like, "Hey, I'm Tommy Vext, and you're rocking with Jordan Rose on 97X." That's all I wanted him to say. Which every other fucking band does.
Yeah.
Every band does this. Like, like nobody, one other person has had an issue with me saying that, and that was Buck Cherry's Josh Todd, because he's a dick as well.
Well,
but
Buck Cherry.
Yeah, yeah. But so anyway, I go up and ask him, and he straight up goes, he was like, "No, I ain't gonna do that. You got to talk to my management first."
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, what the fuck am I going to do with you saying that you listen to my show?
Yeah. Just say you listen. Yeah.
And he literally just walked away after that. I was like, all right.
That's weird.
Doc Coy was cool. I got to interview Doc one time. I interviewed him. He was a nice guy.
Doc is the hero of that band.
Yeah, he is. He's a nice dude too. But so Starset was playing that show, and halfway through their set, all the power in the Ford Center cuts out.
Oh shit!
And people thought it was part of the show. All the power cuts out, and they're just you can still see them because they all wear white, and you can still see them like going up and down, like going to the music.
Yeah.
And they just stopped and looked at each other. That was a funny and cool moment, though. All the power going out at the Ford Center because Starset.
Did they just overload it or what? Because I know they have a bunch of special effects and shit.
I think there was a weather issue that night or something.
Oh. Well, hell, Five Finger Death Punch, last time I saw them, which I guess now's a good time to go down that road. So last time I saw them, it was really confusing because like I said, I used to be a big fan.
What show was it? What show was it?
It was at the KFC Yum Center with Shinedown and We Are Lions, I think. And maybe some other band. But anyway, Shinedown came out, and every time I have seen Shinedown, they're a fantastic act. Like, that vocalist is one of the best vocalists just ever. That's no doubt.
And that whole band is so nice. Like the whole band is incredible. They're so nice, and the crew they work with is just incredible. Shinedown is it's creepy how amazing and nice the whole fucking crew is. Like they're nice just the nicest band. They're the nicest band I've ever worked with.
That's awesome. But Five Finger Death Punch. So all right. So I liked them. I did. When they had, because it was their first album, which was like The Way of the Fist, and then it was This Means War, and then it was American Capitalist, and then Wrong Side of Heaven, the part 1 and 2. So I liked them all the way up to part 1. Once part 2 came out, things kind of got weird in the band, and I quit liking them as much, which I also kind of grew up and quit liking songs that are just like how Ivan writes them, which is just, I'm going to beat you up and fuck your chick and fuck all this stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I went and saw them, and I was hoping I was going to give them a second shot. I was like, hey, I'm going to go in. I'm going to hope for the best. And
you got totally let down.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? This is so weird. This isn't how like any other band handles their shit. It's just the Ivan show, just getting up there being himself. He's entertaining. I'll give him that. But then they have like a weird like strobe show. I don't know. It was really weird. I didn't like it.
So let me preface this in saying that I've met 3 people in Five Finger Death Punch. I've met Jeremy, Chris Kell, and Zoltan.
Okay.
And all 3 of those dudes are nice as shit.
Yeah.
Chris Kell is a dude I want to be best friends with. Like,
yeah, he looks like the kind of dude who would go to the bar with you, and then if you got in trouble, he's there to help, and he's got a smile on his face the whole time.
but he's also this dude who like legit cares about people, and like he takes time with his fans, and it's cool seeing artists like that who don't let that fame get to their head, and like they actually take time to bullshit with their fans and do shit with fans. And he's just all around. Chris Kell's a hell of a fucking person.
Isn't he from Louisville?
Lexington,
close.
Yeah, he has a UK base. But goddamn, they suck live. They are garbage live, and I don't know why people like them.
I don't either.
I've seen them 5 times live. I have not paid any time to see them live. Media credentials saved my life. And out of those 5 times, they played one good show, and that was right after he got sober. 2017's Louder Than Life?
Yes.
No. Was it? Did they play 2017 or was
that year wasn't
did they play
bad?
2015?
They played 27. It was the same year as Volbeat. No, it was 2014 because I only remember that because
No, but this was the second time, so it would have been, if they played 2014, then it was 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because it was the second time they played, and it was right after Ivan got sober, and that was honestly, I'll give it to him. They had a decent show that night. It was pretty good. But the other 4 times I have seen them, it has been absolute straight garbage, and I don't know why they sucked so bad live.
Yeah, I don't either. Because the thing that's really weird is Jeremy Spencer's from Boonville, which is right down the road from me. And I mean, I know like 3 people who were in a band with him when he was in high school. And, you know, I want to be like, oh, hell yeah, like that these guys know him. But well, he's not even in the band animour. So I guess he lived through the good part. So who knows where they're going now.
They're still cranking out hits. They got 4 number 1 hits off their last album.
The F8 album?
Yeah.
For real?
Well, Inside Out is a hit.
Why?
Was Blue on Black on that album, or was that the previous one?
No, that's not technically their song. That's by some guy.
Well, yeah, I know it's Kenny Wayne Shepherd, but that song still went to number 1.
No. Like, did they cover it, or is it? Because I know that there's some guy who did it, and he had him and some country singer and Mick Mars. It was a very weird.
You're talking about the Corey Marks.
Yeah.
Outlaws and Outsiders.
Duh. Yeah.
That's Outlaws and Outsiders, and Travis Tritt is on that. We played that game. Yeah, we played that damn song on air. I was like, why did they add this to the library? Like, why is this? This is not, just because Ivan Moody and Mick Mars is on it does not automatically make it rock.
I gotta agree with you there. That's not, I mean, you know, you should also, if you could play that, you might as well play Brantley Gilbert, is all I'm saying. Like,
the Blue on Black song, Blue on Black.
Yeah.
This Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Yeah. I was like, was I saying that right? Yeah. Anyway, that song has Brantley Gilbert in it.
Yeah. Oh shit, it does.
Yeah. So we have.
Yeah. Now that you've pointed out that it's Outlaws and Outsiders, is that Five Finger Death Punch did do Blue on Black. They just kind of meshed together for me.
Yeah. Right. But yes, I think that if that song's on F8, then so they've had Blue on Black, Inside Out, and now A Little Bit Off.
That song's weird. I mean, it's not the worst song I've ever heard, but I don't know if it's that good.
I'm at the point where I've just accepted the fact that people like Five Finger Death Punch, and for the popularity aspect, I will play their music. But it was a hard pill to swallow. It was a hard pill to swallow and come to that realization.
Yeah, it is weird that people do like them so much, because I don't know. I've always been fascinated in why people do, because it's not really metalheads. Like, they're metalheads, but like not like younger generation metalheads. It's like either older metalheads or like country fans really like them, from what I can tell.
It's more along the lines of it's beginner metal.
Fair enough.
So it's a metal band that mainstream lovers could like.
Yeah.
Just like Metallica. Metallica is a mainstream metal band that people who don't like metal can like.
That's fair. That's big true too.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Here's a good question. As somebody as a radio host, how do you see the future of rock or metal going?
That is a question I've asked myself and have conversations with other people about it, have conversations with people in the music industry about it. And I don't know the answer. Really, the only way, I do not agree with the phrase rock is dead. Uh-huh. It's never been dead. If you go to rock shows and rock music festivals that are sold out with 200,000 people in one weekend.
Yep.
That's not me saying that rock is dead. That shit's well and alive and going. Now,
see, there's an argument to that, and this is the only thing I want to bring up to that, because I agree. Like, hey, it's not totally dead, but would it sell as much if the main headliners, who the dudes, who are grunge, post-grunge, new metal, all that, like, those are getting to be, those guys are starting to phase out. So, I think, to me, the last big band, I'd say, like, that's just gotten huge lately, is like Motionless in White, that can pull off some kind of, like, I don't know, they can continue going on, but, like, I don't know. What do you think about, like, small bands like Bad Wolves? Do you think that they will be able to suffice in 10 years?
Well, that enters a whole nother conversation, because you are right. So when you look at music festivals, you see all these bands, the headliners are all 25 plus years old.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. Every single one of them is 25 plus years old. And then these new acts you aren't even seeing, some of them might be creeping up mid-level on the music festivals.
Yeah.
But that's about as high as they're getting.
Yep.
Now, if I was a betting man, if I had to bet on a band that is going to be a headliner for rock music festivals that would sell tickets in the future, it's probably going to be Bad Wolves.
Think so?
Yeah, dude, look at the hits they came out with.
I don't disagree with you. I think Tommy Vext has an amazing voice.
Bad Wolves is going to be up there. 10 years from now, Seether's still going to be going around kicking ass 10 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're older, but Seether's, yeah. But I mean, your Slipknots are going to be gone. Your Metallicas are going to be gone. Your Guns N' Roses are going to be gone 10 years from now.
How do you feel about Stone Sour being on hiatus? Speaking of just Slipknot's eventually going to be gone.
I mean, it was expected.
Yeah.
I mean, if you follow Corey Taylor at all, the band's focusing on his solo music right now.
That's true.
He's been wanting to come out with solo music, so I was like, it wasn't a shock to me. I wasn't like, oh shit, Stone Sour is done. I was like, God, they'll come out. They'll be out with something in about 5 years.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'll agree. Yeah.
Give it 5 years and they'll be back.
Yeah, that's true. They made it a big deal, but yeah. Everybody who's going to be growing. So do you think bands? Do you listen to like Wage War at all, or Architects or anything?
I've interviewed Wage War a few times. I saw them live for the first time, because Wage War I've interviewed twice at music festivals, and I've never got to catch their set because they always play it like nude. So I was like, can't catch that. I'm kind of back here working, can't get. But I finally got to saw them with opening for A Day to Remember, actually, and they were good. The thing about Wage War is that they're real generic to me.
Yeah.
When it comes to metal, and I'm like, or hardcore, and it's just like, their shit hasn't done anything for me.
I liked their first album and their second album. This last album, it's kind of gotten to a point where I know what I'm expecting from them, and I don't like when I get that from a band. Because
now a band that's making waves in hardcore music right now that I am fucking so happy about is Fit for a King.
Yeah, they are making waves. Them and actually, I just see them everywhere all the time. Fit for a King. Everybody's either trying to be them or Architects, it seems like.
So good, man. Their new album is going to be so good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for that. I may pre-order that one.
There's so many CDs I've yet to pre-order because COVID has put a hold on my finances. So haven't been able to buy CDs just yet because that's more of a luxury expense.
Yeah. I've been lucky. I work IT, so I just started a podcast within quarantine so I could talk to people.
See, I've worked all through quarantine too, and the office staff wasn't there. Like none of the sales team or anything was there, so it was me and 4 people in the building,
right?
And that's it. So I would go in, do my day-to-day duties, do my show, and get out, and not have to talk to anybody all throughout quarantine. It was fantastic. I was bummed out when all the other people came back. I was like, can y'all just work from home? Like just leave us here. Y'all stay home. I love y'all. It's not anything about you.
Just go home. Well, you know what, man? We've hit almost an hour. I'll be done.
No shit.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a talker. That's what I'm paid to do.
Hey, that's why I wanted John here. I knew he was gonna be a good guest because. But
well, let's wrap it up with talking about you. What the hell have you been up to, man? How's Torn Confidence doing on you guys?
Well, we're doing just fine actually, and since this is the end of the podcast, You know, we just got our final back for our Static X cover. We're covering the only, and we're pretty stoked on it.
Hell yeah.
Then we are going to the studio at the end of this month-ish and recording a single. And then that's going to be out, and we have a new sound, a new fun sound. It's not too different from what we've been doing, but to me it's different because we had a big drummer switch, and a drummer switch is a big difference. There's a lot of things that change when you change a drummer. Like, you can replace a guitarist, but it's not easy to replace a drummer.
No, it's not. If I could learn an instrument, drums would it was the instrument I would like to learn. But the issue with me and drums is I'm cool. I can hold a beat all day with my hands, but then you incorporate the feet into it. Game over. I don't have feet hands coordination, and it's a fucking bitch to learn.
It really is. It's definitely a skill.
I do also want to learn how to do bass, so I can be that real fat bassist that just gets real fucking funky and just holds it up by my neck.
Man, our bassist, we got him a new bass for his wedding gift, and he left his old bass at my house because we have practice here. So now I just sit in the basement and play bass all day.
Dude, bass is such a fun, underappreciated instrument. I love that instrument.
It really is. It is a very underappreciated instrument, and it's a very, very tasty part of jams.
Hey, fucking man. Dude, it's been great being on this. Thank you for inviting me on, homie.
Dude, thanks for being on. Super stoked. Hopefully, I'll keep going with this, and I'll have you back sometime in the future.
Let's do it. Next time face-to-face, though, and we can match shots of whiskey.
Ooh, let's do it.
That'll be a real fun podcast.
Yeah. We're gonna get into some shit like aliens. Go
Joe Rogan on this son of a bitch.
Yeah. All right, man. It was good talking to you. I'll see you later.
Fuck yeah, dude. Take it easy, homie.